Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name's Evelyn. I'm an adult doll collector, and this is my series, my first video in my series of the other dolls that I collect besides AG. So most of this channel is AG dolls, which got the highest views in years past, but I have really broadened my doll collecting, and why I doll collect the dolls that I have, why I have them. And so I thought that that would be a good intro about, I thought that that would make a good series on the different dolls. So I have one of my smallest doll collections here. We're going to talk about Reborns, why I have them, how many I have, and who they are. And yeah, so let's get started. Before I answer the questions about why I have them, I just, the Reborn in my arms is, Henry. So Henry James. So we're going to talk about him at the very first, and then we'll talk about my first doll and things like that. So, why do I have Reborns? Well, and how did I get into them? So I am a doll collector. I had actually, I think I had heard about the term Reborns. I forgot, when, but I was at a color guard competition, and a little girl was playing with her baby doll, right? Because that's what all Reborns are. They're just, they're baby dolls. And she was playing with her reborn baby doll, and I looked at my best friend, who's the coach. I'm the assistant coach. I looked at her and I went, now those dolls are creepy. Because she thinks my American Girl dolls are creepy. And I went, no. Well, she thinks all dolls are creepy. She tolerates Barbies, but she really thinks my American Girl dolls are creepy. She loves me though. It's not okay. She doesn't mind it. I just have to I basically purge my entertainment room if she'll come over of the American Girls. She's like, why are they all staring at me? But anyway, she's still my best friend. And it's kind of we listen and we don't judge. That's what it is. She doesn't judge my hobby. To her, they're creepy. To me, they're not, but then I find things creepy that she has. So it's a thing. Anyway, she's supportive. I swear she's supportive. Anyway, so I looked at that doll and went, oh yeah, no, I would never get a reborn. That's creepy. And then I had, as a doll collector, you hear about these dolls and you're like, okay, why do people like them? Why are people owning them? Or they're on the fringes, especially if they're other countries. As an American, there's some dolls, and I'll talk about smart dolls in another video, but there's some dolls, like ball jointed dolls, I know about them because they're dolls, but I've never interacted with them. I don't know anybody that collects them. I don't know why they were so popular, or if not, I didn't even know if they were popular or not. So things like that, where you have questions like that. And so you have knowledge, the very fringes of knowledge. So the very fringe of adults that had baby dolls. And so I was at a doll show in March, I believe, this year, last year, in November. And I was at a doll show, and I was wandering around, and I saw a seller that was selling reborn dolls. And I looked at them and I was like, oh, they're so lifelike. That's kind of interesting and strange. Like at a doll show, it's a great opportunity to like look around and find out new information and look at new dolls and see what appeals to you and things like that. And so I looked at the Reborns and I was like, okay. And then, so she had a cuddle baby on the table and she had a cloth body on the table and of different ages. And so the cuddle baby, I was like, oh, okay. And I looked at them and I went, oh, these are something. These are cute. And the seller was like, do you want to hold one? And I was like, sure, I'll hold one. And so I held the cuddle baby that she had. Now a cuddle baby reborn has a vinyl head that's painted to look like a real baby, but everything else is stuffed like a doll. They don't have hands, they don't have feet, it's all like stuffed. And so I held the baby in my arms. I held this doll in my arms and it was weighted like a baby would be weighted. Now, as somebody that struggles with anxiety, I am medicated for anxiety, I'm medicated for ADHD, but I still struggle with anxiety, with ADHD symptoms, all of that, especially, you know, if I'm out somewhere with a lot of people or at night. And so I've really found that weighted things, even when I didn't know what was wrong with me and I was teaching preschool, I would take the children's weighted lap that we made for them, weighted lap pillows, and I would put it on my lap and it would just calm me down. Once I started therapy. Then before that, and then a couple of, I don't know, recently, weighted stuffed animals started to come out. And so I was in the store and I found a weighted stuffed animal and I picked him up and I put him on my chest and everything just went, and I felt super calm. And I was like, ooh, I really like this, but I didn't end up getting him. Then I was on TikTok and TikTok shop ended up having, like, they kept sending me ads for weighted stuffed animals. And so I got a dinosaur one. And that was it. And I realized that weighted things really, really calmed me down and made me feel like quiet. And so fast forward, now I have a weighted dinosaur, a weighted dinosaur and a weighted dragon. I have a weighted blanket. I have 2 weighted blankets, one that I can travel with and one that goes on my bed. I actually bought a littler one, but it didn't end up working for me quite well. So that one I gave to my nephew. And so when I held this cuddle baby and it was weighted, like immediately, everything just went, and it felt like a real baby. Now, I, as a woman in a patriarchal society, have always wanted to be married and have kids. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen. Like, my 5-year plan 20 years ago, straight out of college, was that I was going to work in a school district for 5 years. I was going to meet my husband. I was going to have babies and be a stay-at-home wife, because that's what my mom did. That's what, my religion told me was the way to go. And as I've gotten older, have been through therapy, still going through therapy, have learned about myself. I have realized that I am ace, which is why I never ended up getting married. But I'm ace. And having ADHD, having autism, and having a very, very fast-paced job teaching. I come home every night overstimulated and done. And so having kids is not something that I was thinking about doing for a while yet. Even like adopting or whatever. I can't because I live with my mom and there's no room. But that's beside the point. 3 years ago, it really hit home because I started questioning whether I really wanted children or not. Eventually. I was getting old anyway. Old. And within that time frame, I got diagnosed with severe endometriosis and had to have surgery, and was told that after the surgery, it would be nearly impossible to have kids. And so did I want a surgery that would make me feel better, relieve my symptoms, make me more healthier? Or did I want to chance it and continue in horrible pain? Heavy bleeding, right? Until I could no longer have kids. And so I was like, I want to feel better. I want to be able to do the things. I don't want to remain in pain for the rest of my time as a childbearing woman, or could. So I had the surgery, and so that was it. So I wasn't going to have kids. So when she put that baby in that doll in my arms, I realized, like, it just, like, I don't want to say healed something because that's so cliche, but like, it gave me the feeling in the sense that like it was okay. Like like this could be a baby. So that's the reason why I have Reborns. Many people have Reborns for many different reasons. Some are mourning the loss of their children. Some are like me, where they can't ever have children, and so the Reborns become their like children. There is an app that lets you simulate taking care of a baby. I've done preschool and babies since I could volunteer and babysit, and I've always liked it, but I never wanted, like, I always loved it to be able to hang out with babies and take care of babies and do their hair and, dress them all cute, like my dolls, and then send them home to their parents at the end of the day. And so that's what's great about this too, is like, I can pretend on the weekends that these are real, or even at night that these are real, that they're my real babies. But if I leave them at home and go to work, nothing's gonna happen because they're dolls. So I really like that. I have a big imagination, as it is with my autism and ADHD. So just being able to imagine a different life, or just play. as a millennial, is great. So that is my reasoning. I am mentally healthy. Well, I mean, I go to therapy. I am as much mentally healthy as the next person. I don't think there's anything wrong with owning reborns, or pretending that they're real. We know that they're fake, but it gives me such joy to be able to go out and pick out little tiny baby clothes for my dolls that I can then dress them in. I get to dress little tiny babies. I get to take care of them. I can change diapers, and I don't have to deal with the gross, like the fact that I don't like gross things on my hand because they're not real. I do have animals for that reason, because I love taking care of things. I have 2 guinea pigs at the moment. But yeah, so it's really kind of, that's it. And they're just so precious and so cute. So yeah, I've changed my mind on reborns. So I'm going to put Henry down. I'll talk about him later. And I'm gonna go get my first doll. So the little girl that came home with me at the end of the day of that show was from that seller. And here she is. She also has a weighted head. She is a newborn, 0 to 3 months. I play her as a newborn, or 0 months. She is, so they each have like different molds, and they're always coming out with new molds. Reborn is a sculpture of a real baby that then gets painted and hair rooted or not. And so that's a reborn. A realborn is a scan of a real baby's face and then painted and used for the mold and painted and things like that. So her kit, they come in kits. Her face mold and kit is the Flossie. I forget whose it's from. But she really stuck out to me as a baby with like brown hair, brown eyes. She's weighted too. When I picked her up, so I put down the cuddle baby and I picked her up and I just held her. And both the ladies at the booth, and me too, were like, she looks like you. Like, she looks like she could be your baby. So I purchased her right then and there. She is vinyl and a cloth body. And so she's got a vinyl head, vinyl arms that go most of the way up. At her shoulder is cloth. She's got vinyl legs that go all the way up to the cloth body, and then her cloth body is stuffed and weighted. So her fingernails are painted like real baby fingernails and everything. I've taken care of her a lot. She was one that I would change, and I try to. I'm super tired lately at school, so I haven't been able to get to my babies in the morning. But I used to change them every morning and put them like back in bed or back in like car seats and things like that, to, you know, make them simulate that they're real babies. So she is still my little girl. I named her Adeline, spelled like Adeline. But yeah, I named her Adeline, and she's my little one. She's my first one, and I just adore her. I sit and, you know, rock her, and yeah, just, so you gotta treat them like they're real babies. So, all right. So when I purchased Adeline, I purchased her thinking that she could wear my baby clothes, because my mom saved some of my baby clothes. And I was like, oh, that'd be so great too, that, you know, this little girl that looks like me can also wear my baby clothes. Come to find out, my baby clothes are not newborn size clothes. The baby clothes that I have are about, the earliest I think I saw the tag on one was about 6 months. And then it goes all the way up. Like, I just found a whole other stash when I was cleaning out the garage that is like toddler. So I don't know if they will ever get to wear them. So a few months had passed, and I contacted the seller, and I was like, hey, like, there was one other baby that they were trying to not sell me on, but they were like, oh, like, this baby, she, you know, could wear 6 months clothes. Like, this is the one you want. But I was zeroed in on Adeline there. And so I kept thinking about her. And I contacted the seller, and I said, okay, I want the other little girl that you had available, so that she can wear my baby clothes. And the seller was like, great, yes, let's do it. So I purchased the other little girl that she had, that I had also seen at the show, but a couple of months later. She is a little bit bigger. She wears, depending on the brand of the clothes, she wears anywhere from 3 months all the way through till the 9 months. So she can wear the 0 to 3 months if it's a Carter's. And I mostly put her in 3 to 6 months. And then I have some 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months are a little bit big for her, but she can wear them. So this is her. Let me take her. Oh, that's the other thing too, is that the two that I have, because they're vinyl, their mouths aren't open. And so, but they can still use pacifiers. They're just magnetized. They just have a magnet in there. So anyway, so this little girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, I think they had the kit named as the Bessie or Betsy mold. I have named her Esther. And sometimes I call her Essie. I've been calling her just Esther recently. Esther Helen. So yeah, so she can sit up. Just like a 6-month-old can, with help. I carry her around a little bit more like you would a regular, you know, a baby, right? Or not a newborn, but you know. She is also weighted. Super cute. She's got vinyl, and she's got rooted hair. So Adeline also has rooted hair. Her vinyl arms go all the way up into her shoulders. She's got a cloth body. Same with her feet. Her hands, these are the grabby hands. Her feet are super cute too. But yeah, so there she is. She's my happy little girl. She always wakes up happy. You know. The story is that Adeline is my baby. And that Esther here is still my daughter. I am raising her like she's part of the family. But she is a relative's who died's baby. And so I took her on to raise her as my own. So that's the story behind them. Just like with American Girl dolls or any doll, you can like make up a story about them. So that's the story that I made up about Esther here, who's super happy. I say I play her around 4, 5, 6 months old. So, now I've been waiting a long time, but as I was talking to the seller about Essie and how Flossie was doing, because again, they loved Flossie, Adeline, the seller went, hey, like, I would really love it. Like, my passion is to do portrait babies, and I would really love it if I could do like a portrait baby of you. Is that something that you would be wanting to do, seeing as how you want the reborn to fit into your baby clothes? And I was like, oh, okay. So I sent her some pictures of me, and I can put some baby pictures of me in here. I sent her some pictures of me around like 6 months. There's a couple of toddler pictures in there that I sent her, and I was like, I know. She's like, yeah, toddlers are a little bit harder to do. They're a little bit more expensive, and they're a little bit harder to find. And I was like, yeah. So I honestly don't know, because we never specified what age. I know it's not a newborn. But yeah, so she's currently working on her, rooting her hair. Now I have, because I don't have the hair that I had when I was a baby. None of us do. When you grow up, your hair changes. So it's going to be a light brunette color. And as you can see, I'm like pink now. That's not going to be pink, I swear. It's going to be me. She did a portrait, gave her pictures of me when I was a kid, when I was a baby. So I'm excited for that. Now, in my last video, in my doll show haul, I showed my new little one. So this one is special. So he is a preemie size. He's even smaller than a preemie size, because preemie clothes don't necessarily fit him. But he is a silicone, and he is asleep. So like I said in that video, at this doll show, I walked past the table, and I was just looking, because I was looking just to see what silicones look like, what they feel like, if it's something that I would want to have and own as well. And so I was wandering around, and her babies were cute. I enjoyed her babies. And then I saw this one, and I was done. He nestled his way into my heart and into my wallet. He is the most expensive doll that I have ever had. This one, he is all silicone. Let's put it that way. He's all silicone. He is number 5 of 15 dolls that were made. He is not, so the babies that I have are kits, I think, that are sold by the artists. No, by the sculptors. I don't know. These two, the two that I showed you, my first two I know are, like, they don't have COAs, but I believe they're authentic, because they're done by an artist. They were purchased as a kit. They are not purchased from Amazon or Temu or anything like that. And this one was purchased directly from the artist, from the seller to the from the sculptor to the artist. I've seen the sculptor's page on Facebook. So yeah, he's weighted. He's got floppy legs. His head is weighted, and his body is really weighted. I think he's like 5 pounds. I'd have to look at his COA. He is the Henry mold by this particular artist. He is a elf baby, as you can see. And again, I wasn't really into the like fantasy babies because I like their real babies, but I held him and that was it. He also has an armature in him so that he can bend his arms and they'll stay that way. And I'm holding it right now, but there we go. He slowly put it down. But it acts more like, the armature is a little stiff, but it acts more like bones, and it feels like a bone in there. His legs don't really feel like, they feel real floppy, like there's nothing in there. He is one that like I come back to like every night. Like I'll lay in bed and I'll just hold him until like I'm ready to fall asleep, and then I'll like put him in his little bassinet. It's pink right now, but just put him in there and he'll just sleep. His canon is that I found him in the forest and was tasked to raise him again as my own, even though he's a little fae. You should see, like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this baby. So precious. One of the things that I want to do though, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want to, I mean, I love him as he is. But I wish that he had some eyelashes. So I'm gonna see if anybody could put some eyelashes on his eyes. Maybe put a little hair on his head. He doesn't have any hair. He just has a bald head. He's just a bald baby. But yeah, that's the only thing. His mouth does open. I've got a real pacifier for him. He can like suck on my finger. He's just so cute. He's just so cute. His little, I showed this in the last video too, but I love his little belly button too. Hang on, let me get it. Look at his little belly button. Look, it's so cute. Look at his little belly button. He's my little baby. Anyway. The thing that's neat about silicone too is that he is anatomically correct, but that's never mind. Like, doesn't really matter. But yeah, he is a boy. He is a boy. I can say that to you with assurance. He is a boy. But yeah, he's just the sweetest thing in the whole world. Anyway, thank you for watching. I know this has gone on a really, really long time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching about me and what some people think is an unhealthy obsession with babies. Because I have seen those comments to other reborners, other reborn doll collectors. But yeah, no. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time in my series. Bye.